Hi, I'm glad to see you today. You ready to do a fantastic little painting? Super. Tell you what, let's have them run all the colors across the screen that you need at home to paint along with me. And while they're doing that, let me tell you what I've done already. We have our standard old canvas up here. It has liquid white all over it and it's ready to go. So let's do the same thing. I'm going to start out today with the old 2-inch brush and go into the smallest little amount of alizarin crimson. Just a little bit, and just tap the bristles into it. And by tapping the bristles, that assures a nice even distribution of color all the way through the bristles. Okay, let's go up here. Now maybe today we'll have a little pink in the sky. Just a small amount. I sincerely suggest that you start with a least little touch of alizarin crimson. You can always add more, but it's a son of a gun to try to take it off. And a little bit goes a long way. Goes a long, long way. And the crimson is continually blending with the liquid white, and it gets lighter and lighter in value the more you work it. And I'm just using little crisscross strokes here. Just like so. There. Okay. Now then, that easy. Let's go. We won't even wash the brush. Shoot, we'll just go right into a small amount of phthalo blue. Phthalo blue. Once again, it takes very little paint. Just tap. Okay, now let's go up here, and we'll still use our little crisscross strokes. And let's just put in a little bit of blue around this pink. Now be careful. Be very careful. The blue is so strong, it will absolutely consume your pink. There. Blue is probably 100 times stronger than the crimson. There we go. Okay, a little bit over here, like so. Just put it in. Use a little crisscross strokes. That's all it takes. There we go. Wherever you want it. And you can just tap a little stringy cloud here and there if you want one. Maybe you don't want one, but if you do, that's all there is to it. You can put all kinds of happy little things in there. I like to do skies. There's so many beautiful effects you can make. There we go. Now then, let me wash the brush. That's the fun part of this whole technique. Wash the old brush. Shake off the excess. And just beat the devil out of it. Now then, with a clean dry brush here, all we're going to do is blend this together. Where the blue and the pink come together, just blend so you can't tell where one color stops and the next color starts. There we go. Just blend it together. And maybe, as usual, you know, if you painted along with me, I'm such a fanatic for water. I put water in everything I paint. Maybe we'll have a little water in this one too. So while I have the old brush going here, put a little more of the phthalo blue on it. A little bit more. And maybe we'll have some water in here. I don't know where it's going to be. Let's just put this down here, and we'll make that big decision later. Add a little black to that so it's darker at the base. Little touch of midnight black. There we go. We'll just fill this in. We'll make up our mind later. Midnight black and phthalo blue. There we go. Now, that wasn't so hard, was it? Okay. Okay. Let's have some fun. Maybe today, let's do a mountain. We'll take some black and some blue, take a little alizarin crimson, and some Van Dyke brown. Just mainly a good dark color. Pull the paint out flat, cut across it so we have our little roll of paint right out of the edge of the knife. Now then, you have to make a big decision. Where does your mountain live? In your world, you decide. Maybe there's a peak there. Get a little more paint. Maybe this comes up. See? And just push very firmly and put your mountain in wherever you want it. Wherever you want it. That's exactly where it should be. Okay, there we go. And we just let this wander right on off. Scrape off all the excess paint. Just get in there and get tough with it. You're not going to hurt it. Now, we'll take a 2-inch brush, grab that, and pull it. Just pull it. Now the little trick. I want a distant mountain in the background back here, but I want it the same color, only lighter. So with the color that I've pulled off this mountain, watch here, we'll just go right back in here and just take the brush and we'll tap in the indication of a little mountain that lives way back in the distance. It just sort of lays up here in the sky and floats around. Very soft and very quiet. That way it's the same value, only lighter. There. See there? Isn't that sneaky? Now then, we can go ahead and pull this color right on down. And we've got the base coat for a big old fantastic mountain right there. Just let this blend right on off to it. It just looks like it's floating right along in there. That's just right, just perfect. Now then, we can wash our brush again. Of course, the camera people hate it when I wash brushes here. There. We get them. All right, let's put some highlights on this. And for that, I'm going to use titanium white, just plain old titanium white. I'm going to reach over here and get the least little touch of the black and put in it, just so it grays it down a little bit, makes it a little bit grayish. Pull it out as flat as you can get it. Just, get tough with it. Cut across, and we have our little roll of paint once again. And with that, now then we can begin deciding where light would shine through there. Just let the light come through and bounce and play and have fun wherever you want it. There we go, no pressure. Absolutely no pressure. So you touch, just let it come on down. Now, if mountains in your area are a different shape, change them. All I want to do is show you how to make a mountain. I know this is not the shape of the mountain everywhere, but if you can make one mountain, you can make a million mountains. And maybe in your area there isn't any mountains. Then leave it out, if that's the way you want your world to be. I like mountains because they teach you how to use these knives. And if you learn to use these knives, you're in business. I'm going to take some white, a little bit of Prussian blue, just a small amount. It's very strong. Reach over here and get the least little touch of dark sienna and just mix it marbly. And I've got the small knife here. Let me wipe it off so you can see. Okay, now cut across and you get that. There we go. Get that little roll of paint. And there's a multitude of colors happening there, the same as there is here. Now then, let's put some shadows in here. Just touch, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure. Let it just glide right down the side of this. Right down the side. Let all those little colors just happen. Maybe they don't all show up, but in here, if you're looking close up, you can see all those different colors. The same as they were in the paint, now they're on the mountain. See, just put in your basic shape here. Pull it down, pull it down. There, now then, see this peak here? He needs his own individual little shadow. And that way he'll stand out. There we go. We can take here and there a little touch of dark color and go back and add in little accents. There. See, it makes those areas deep and dark and mysterious. That's where the mountain goat goes to hide. Well, when I lived in Alaska, we saw a lot of mountain goats and Dall sheep and all those beautiful, beautiful animals. There we go. Okay. You know, it's sort of sad in the way this is the last show of the 13th series. The last one. But we'll be back. We've already started working on the next series. It's hard to believe my gosh, there's nearly 170 shows now. And if you haven't had the opportunity to see them all, and you'd like to, give your local station a call. They have access to them. Just give them a call. Tell them you want to see them. Take a 2-inch brush and just tap, following the angles to create a little mist down here at the base. There we go. You know, when I started this, I'd never believed we would have this many television series and that this many fantastic people would watch us. And I'd like to thank you for making this one of the most popular how-to shows ever. And I owe it all to you. You're fantastic. And from the very bottom of my heart, I thank you for allowing me to be part of your family and to come into your homes each week. That's so special. There. Now see the nice misty area at the base of this? That's what we're looking for. And we're ready. Let me find this brush. Use the old oval brush today. I'll take I had some mountain color left here. I'm going to add the least little touch of sap green to it. Least little touch. And some white. There we go. Maybe a touch more of the sap green. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, clean off my knife. Let's take the oval brush today. It's fun to use. I'm just going to tap it in here and tap it right into some color. It's easy to distinguish. It has a black handle. Maybe there's some little footy hills. And they live right here. Little foothills. Just happy little foothills. And because this brush is sort of roundish on top, it makes all these beautiful little shapes almost automatically. Almost automatically. There. Another thing the television series has done, it's allowed me to introduce a lot of new products and a lot of new ideas that I never had the opportunity to share with you. Things like the black gesso, the plexiglass palettes, liquid black, liquid clear, oval brushes. All these things are things that I designed, and I was allowed to show them to you. And that's fantastic. I hope you enjoy them, and they make your painting life much easier and bring you ways of doing whole new effects that you never had before. Okay, now I'm going to take and pull down. There. Even the knives I designed and worked on each and every one of them and changed the shapes and made them all different ways till I got them just the way that I wanted them. And I hope they work for you. Okay, I'm going right into a little bit of the cad yellow, and I left the dirty color on the brush so it turns green when you touch it. Now, same brush, I'm going to go back in here and just tap the indication of a few little highlights here and there. Don't want too much detail. This is too far away. Too much detail would work against you. Because when things are far, far away, all you see is basic shapes, basic colors. There we go. Maybe over here, add a little yellow ochre. Some of them I'm not going to put anything on. Just leave them like they are. A little Indian yellow. All different colors of green. Different planes. Isn't that fantastic? And it only takes a second. Okay. Now then, back to my knife. I'm going to take a little touch of Van Dyke Brown and just scrape in the indication of a water line, like so. So now we have foothills overlooking a happy little lake. Take a little liquid white, put it on the palette, and we'll pull that out as flat as I can get it. Just really pull it out, get strong with it. Take the knife and cut across. And with that, go up here, and you can just cut in a little water line, just a little light area under the dark. And it separates that, makes it stand out. There. Does nice things. Maybe there's a happy little ripple here and there. Keep these basically straight. And if you've painted with me before, you know that. Shoot, we talk about it all the time. Now then, let me find that old fan brush. There we go. I'm going to mix up, let's mix up a bunch of color. Black, Prussian blue, Van Dyke brown. There's some crimson, some sap green. Whatever, big pile of color. Just, we don't have to over mix it, just something like so. Clean off my knife. Let's build some happy little evergreen trees. We'll do that with a fan brush. Just pull the brush right through the paint, like so. Okay, let's go maybe. There it is, right here. There's a little evergreen. Just take the corner of the brush, back and forth, back and forth. I think I've mentioned before, I had a lady in class one time, she called these Z trees, like Zorro. And that's sort of a good analogy. you just sort of make little Z's work back and forth. There. I've got old and decrepit now. I don't teach too many classes. We send my son Steve. He goes all over and teaches, and we have other fantastic teachers travel all over the country. I let them do the teaching. There we go. Back and forth. There. Maybe in here. Let's just put the indication. Boy, I'm just killing my little lake. Just the indication here. And all I'm doing is tapping downward. Just tapping downward. We're going to push that little lake right back into the distance. Maybe here and there. It's a tree that's a little bit more detail in him. There. See there? Okay, I'll give him another one right there. And you can put as many or as few of these as you want. Tell you what, I'll have another big one over here. When I said I was covering up the lake, I wasn't kidding, was I? If I keep going, there's just going to be a mud puddle left out there. Another big tree. That's all right. We don't know how big it is behind all these evergreens that are living here. It may be a huge lake. There we go. Okay, that's too slow. Shoot. Let's have some fun. Go into the big old brush. And we'll take that same color mixture, pull the brush through the paint in one direction. One direction. Now then, let's have some nice big trees and stuff over here. Let's just take this brush, push, bend the bristles, bend the bristles. Don't let them slide. See, don't let them slide. Bend. There we go. There we go. Can do. You can do anything that you want to do. All you have to do is believe. Anything that you believe you can do, you can do. You can do. There. See, we could fill all this up. You could use your shoe to put this on. It doesn't matter. This is a good place, though, to practice your brush strokes. All I'm doing here is putting in background color. Just putting in the dark so the light will show. There we are. There we go. We'll just fill all this up. Okay. See there? We put all this water down here, and all that's left is a tiny little lake. Tiny little lake. And that's what's so fantastic about painting like this. Right in the middle of the painting, you can change your mind. You have total and complete freedom. When I was a traditional painter, I never felt free. Here I feel free. Pull the paint out flat, cut across, and once again we have our little roll of paint. Let's go up here. Put the indication just here and there of some little tree trunks. Just wherever you want them. Just brown and white. Brown and white. There. You can scratch through the paint, make the indication of all kinds of little sticks and twigs and stuff. There. People think you work for weeks putting all those in. And that's our secret. It's our secret. Now we'll get a plain 1-inch brush. Let's see here. We'll dip it into some liquid white and go right into our yellow. Reach up in here and get a little of that dark color we was using because it has blue and it'll turn green. Our golden rule, thin paint sticks to thick paint. So I stuck it into the liquid white first, only to thin the paint. Pull the brush in one direction. Okay, now then, let's begin putting all kinds of beautiful little leaves on these. Put some sparklers up here. Work in layers, always working in layers, completing the most distant layer first and coming forward. Forward, forward, forward. And you can put layer after layer after layer of just beautiful little bushes. Don't let the brush slide. The other thing that causes a lot of problem is just hitting at random. Don't hit at random. Let's go over to the other side here. I don't want this one left out. Don't hit it random. Think about it. Think about it. There we go. See, there's branches and limbs inside this tree, and each one of them's an individual. Has its own personality. There. Okay, a little more of the liquid white. A little more of the dark color to make a dark green. Maybe there's a happy little bush. Yep, you're right. It lives right there. There we go. Wherever you want them. Wherever. There's another one. Tell you what. Super way to make some little grassy areas. I'll just wipe that off a little. We use the same old dirty brush. 2-inch brush. And I'm going to go right into this yellow. Now, it's dirty. It's got all those colors on it. So it also is going to turn green. Just tap. Now then, maybe there's just some soft little grassy areas that live right back in here. All you have to do is tap. And the more you tap these, the softer they'll become. Till they look just like velvet laying out here. There. Layer after layer. Once again, start in the background and work forward. Always working forward. There we go. Okay, just work in layers, work in layers. There. Okay, now then, let's have some on the other side too. Bring this down. It comes right on down like that. See there? Just let it flow right out of that. There we go. Okay. Isn't that fantastic? A big old brush like that, you can make something that looks so delicate and so soft. And you can. You really can. There. Okay. But notice here, we're worried about the lay of the land. I want this to look like it sort of comes down. And this is where you create that illusion. These little grassy areas give the indication of the way the land flows. Tell you what, let me find my fan brush here. It's got, put some Van Dyke brown on it and just load it full. Just load it full. Maybe back in here, there's just a happy little path. If it comes right along here, maybe on around, wherever you want it. Just a little path. And I'll just take the same brush and add a little white to it. Just a little titanium white, and just let it graze that. There. Isn't that easy? We got a nice little path. Tell you what, maybe there's a little stone over here. And maybe there's also a little stone right here. Wherever you want a little stone, just drop it in. Take a little brown and white. Little highlight on these stones, and they'll stand out as individuals. Now then, we can take just a clean knife, scrape through, put the indication of some sticks and twigs and all these little things in here. And same thing on the other side. Just scrape right through, like that. Tell you what, let's get crazy. Take Van Dyke brown on the fan brush, a lot of paint. Let's go right up here. Maybe? Here we go. This is your bravery test. Right through there, we'll put a happy tree trunk. And if that's not enough, that didn't challenge your bravery, let's do one over here, a bigger one on the other side. And we'll have a nice tree on each side, like that. We can take our knife, a little bit of brown and white, and let's just put the indication here and there of some highlights on these trunks. All I'm doing is just touching, just touch. There. Let's go the other one. Need a little bit on this one, don't want him left out. Like so. Now, to our liner brush. I'm going to dip it in paint thinner and then go right into the brown. I want this paint to be as thin as ink. thin as ink. Turn it, turn it. That brings the bristles to a nice point. Then we can go out here and let's just put the indication of some nice tree limbs on this. And we'll put some leaves on this, so you don't have to put too many. We're going to cover up most of them anyway. But if you have trouble making the paint flow, add more thinner. More thinner. There we go. Let's go on the other one. Give him some arms too. Gotta have an arm here so he can stand up and wave at the sun, talk to the mountain. Birds gotta have a place to sit. You know, in one of the earlier series, I showed a little robin that I was raising. We're still getting calls about the little robin. And then on the next series, I'm using the oval brush here. On the next series, I showed the little robin being turned loose. So in case you didn't see that particular show, the little robin grew up and we let him go. And he's doing fine as far as we know. There we go, just tapping in some nice leaves on these old trees. There. Okay, let me grab my other oval brush with green on it. We'll put a few highlights. And this little painting will be about finished. And once again, I'd like to thank you for allowing me back in your home for another series. And I look forward to the next one coming up. My gosh, the next one will be number 14. And if you'll have us, we'll be back with you. There we go. And with that, I think we have a finished painting. And I'd like to tell you, on behalf of the entire crew here, and it takes a lot of people, happy painting, God bless, and we'll see you next time.